Let's fucking go, baby! Let's go! Let's fucking go, baby! Let's go!
Your aim assist is coming out on top. Game 1, game 3, doesn't matter the map. What did they do right?
AimAssist, a team composed of 3 controller players, won a professional tournament, an unprecedented feat in competitive Apex. And not only did they win, but they won by a significant margin. All 3 members placed in the top 5 most kills, while the other 2 players in the top 5, Snipedown and Pride, are also controller players. This once again brings into light the debate over AimAssist in esports.
I won't touch my joystick. Like, you can see me moving it in the bottom right. So, you see that? Boy, AimAssist is so strong in Apex, dude. It's almost as if
Nearly 7 months ago, through obvious sarcasm, Snipedown shows AimAssist to not be as effective as many mouse and keyboard players claim.
Got that mouse and keyboard.
Where are we going?
Advantage. No, I saying it's like the biggest thing that nobody understands. I'm saying there's one aspect of controller players, of being a controller player, that is way too good, and that's close range fighting. AimAssist in close range with controller is way too good. Every other aspect of controller, mouse and keyboard, has an advantage. But guess what?
This clip of ImperialHal, who is a member of TSM, the most dominant competitive Apex team, is only a month old. So clearly there are still 2 sides, and by the recent success of controller players in competitive, I became curious. Close range had very noticeable aim assist, as ImperialHal said. Anything further than this first comparison had nothing noticeable, and then extremely close quarters, once again, the aim assist became unnoticeable. With most fights taking place at the range aim assist seemed most effective, I began to understand ImperialHal's argument. So, I decided to hop in some games, try it out for myself. We're gonna have to fight for this high ground here though. Right here in front of us too. My aim was poor and my movement was worse. This was to be expected though. I've spent the past 5 years exclusively using mouse and keyboard. One's right below us, like even with this performance, I was still able to find some kills.
Where's the other one?
He's out of the zone. Oh, right here.
She's skinned. Nice. Take the shield.
I need a lot of light ammo. I would have been doing much better if I was on my usual mouse and keyboard, but I still found myself occasionally lasering enemies which I felt undeserving of. It seemed some of these shots were given to me, not earned. Damn. So, did AimAssist make me an aimbot? Well, no. It did, however, help me hit some shots that I wouldn't have been able to otherwise with the imprecision of a controller. But that's kind of the whole point of why AimAssist exists. Now, you may start wondering what this is really all about. Well, on some of my more recent TikToks, I got an overwhelming amount of comments from console players complaining they'd stand no chance against PC players when cross-play releases later this year. Then, when I log onto my computer to play, I hear mouse and keyboard players complaining about the exact opposite, that controller's aim assist is too strong. So I wanted to form my own opinion, and after using a controller for a few days, I realized that for a casual player, the addition of aim assist gives the ability for controller players to compete with mouse and keyboard. With time, a user of either input has the ability to outmatch the other. Although the controller players have recently been winning more tournaments, there are still a higher number of mouse and keyboard players in professional than those of controller. So to everyone arguing about being killed by a controller, or to the console players afraid to be outmatched by PC players just because of their input, you need to stop. Pros have proved that both inputs have the capability to play at the highest level. For professional players and very highly competitive players, as far as all that goes, I will resort to what Shroud has said in the past.
It's really, really simple what the issue is with aim assist, right? Every single player, console or PC, that is competing for money has the right to complain and has the right to argue. They're totally in the right to be mad, right? because there's advantages to both controller and PC, right? Mouse and keyboard and controller. There's advantages to both, right? The fact that there's an advantage of controller versus mouse and keyboard, and the other way around, mouse and keyboard has an advantage over controller. The fact that those two things exist and both can have advantages towards one another makes no fucking sense that it's even in place to have any sort of competition for money at all. The whole point of competition is like fair play, you know, competitive integrity, right? So if a mouse and keyboard isn't fair against a controller, or vice versa, because they both have their pros and cons, they shouldn't exist in the same world. It's really that simple. The fact that people are arguing against any of that is crazy to me, because that right there, what I said, is a fact that simple. Like, there's no way anyone can argue against it. You just can't. There's no argument there. Zero.
The use of both controllers and mouse and keyboard in competitive Apex isn't going anywhere. It is important to understand it will never be entirely even when the competition is at the highest skill level. This doesn't mean professionals should just accept the way it is. Nothing will get better if everyone stays quiet. Instead, this means to understand this is going to be an important and never-ending dialogue.